Fine, let's start our session, friends. So, welcome back. Let me brief myself. So, my name is Ravi Kanth. I'm your Selenium mentor. I'm having 12 years of experience in software testing. I'm having 1 year on-site experience also in California. I worked for the client VMware for 1 year. Right now, I was giving the software training for people who are really looking for seriously to get into the job. If you want a real time, I'm the right person here for you. So hope everyone is working employees or any freshers are there. Any freshers or any working employees? Please let me know.
Sir, in that field we are freshers.
So you are fresher. Okay, fine.
Yeah, I'm working in other field. I just want to change my field. That's why I'm joining it.
Okay, fine. Got it.
Yeah.
So why I'm asking this question means most of the people will have a question who are eligible for this course. The first question comes, Ravi, am I eligible for this course because I'm fresher? I don't know anything. I'm non-IT background. Like these questions comes. So for all these persons who are asking these questions, this is the answer from my end. Yes, this course is eligible for any type of people. The people who are freshers, the people who are non-IT, who are migrating from manual to automation, who are migrating from one stream to testing stream, any kind of people are eligible for this course. Yes, believe. Because why? So everything I'm giving from the scratch. Okay, everything I'm giving from the scratch. Okay, what is the prerequisite to learn Selenium automation testing? Yes, here some programming knowledge is required. Some programming knowledge is required. Okay, what type of programming language is required? Like core Java or C Sharp, Ruby, Python, JavaScript, R language, Dart, Scala, PHP, okay, no? Go programming language, Haskell, etc. etc. So any of these language bindings are required to work with the Selenium. Not every language, any one of the language binding is required. Any of the language is required. All languages, OOPS concepts only. Object-oriented programming features. Object-oriented programming concepts. In any language, that OOPS concepts only is required. So any one of the language we must be aware of before you start with the Selenium. Okay, in this course we designed for Java with Selenium. So most of the companies have projects having with the Java only. So Java with Selenium, this is the combination we work with. So first we go with the core Java concepts, then we start with the Selenium. In core Java, all the OOPS concepts, as I say, OOPS means object-oriented programming features. So everything from the scratch I'm going to be give, friends. Everything from the scratch. What are the OOPS concepts to be covered here means project, package, Java classes, interfaces, abstract classes, Java inheritance, variable types, data types and its default values, castings, access, non-access modifiers, data hiding, abstraction, encapsulation, method signatures, method overloading, method overriding, polymorphism, constructors, for loops, decision making statements, single dimension, two dimension, and multi user defined arrays, debugging, Java strings, regular expressions, exception handling, file systems, and collections. all these concepts will be covered in this course, friends. So all core Java OOPS concepts will be covered here. All core Java OOPS concepts will be covered here. So without knowing the programming knowledge, we cannot start with Selenium. So Java is my responsibility. So making you understand the concepts is one part, and making you technically sounds good is another part. Because why? If you want to work with Selenium, you must be technically sounds good. Knowing the concepts. Some people says, I know all the concepts. If I put a question, zero knowledge. Some people says, I know all the concepts. Technically, they not sounds good. So friends, knowing the concepts like classes, interface, these concepts are there. Knowing that concepts, no use. So you must be know the thorough knowledge on that every concept. On every concept, I will give some assignment programs also where you'll be technically sounds good. Okay, now. So making comfort in all the concepts, what are the topics I said, and in every topics I'll give some assignment practices also. Like if I talk about loopings and if conditions, we give some pattern programs. We give some pattern programs. Like suppose to say, just search Java pattern programs. So if I click any one of these things, here we can see. One second, let me open this. Java pattern programs. See, these are the patterns programs, printing the square box, printing in number and triangle, number increasing pyramid, like this reverse pyramid, okay, like this, okay, diamond, a sandbox, okay, like this we have, okay, these are the pattern programs. So for everything you have programs to make comfort yourself for loops and if conditions. So these are the best practices, pattern programs where we will be giving some practices. And if I talk about strings, again in strings we have some string manipulation programs are there. We will come to know what are the functions in the strings and what are the string manipulation programs. I will be giving the brief on that. I'll give some programs also on strings also. See here, so majorly in interview they'll be asking some questions on strings. Okay, now. So these are the one of the reference site where I used to give you for practices. So you may also face the same problem. Interview asking the programs on strings, you may not aware of it. You're not able to answer to that programs also. See, like example to say, write a Java program to find the duplicate words and their number of occurrences in a string. Find the duplicate words of their number of occurrences in a string. Duplicate words and how many times it got occurred. Like these programs we have to. So write a Java program to count number of words in a string. Number of words in a string to count. And one more method, count number of words in a string. Two ways we can find the number of words. Write a Java program to count total number of occurrences of a given character in a string without using for loop. Without using for loop. Like these 27 programs, 29 programs are this here. Permutation, the string in Java we're writing one string JSP. Permutations, like how many ways we can write this JSP. So JSP, JPS, like this. Like this, how to sort the text in the Java. Write a Java program to append the given string to the text file. So how to remove all the vowels in a string in a Java. How to replace a specific string in a text file. These are all programs. Okay, na? So these are the general programs. If you practice, means see here we can see, write a Java program to find percentage of uppercase letters, percentage of lowercase letters, percentage of digits, percentage of special characters in a given string. You have to find it. These are all the programs. These are all the programs which makes you perfectness in a to make you technically sounds good. Okay, na? Learning the concepts, not practicing the programs, there is no use, friends. You are software developers. Okay, you're not manual tester. You must be technically sounds good. Any cast, any situation comes, you must be to fight with that solution, to get the solution. Okay. So, like this, suppose if we talk about collections, you know, collections is major part in Java. So Java to know wise is the website when I give for practice. Here we can see number of programs will be there in the collections. So like this, I'll give concepts as well. I will give some assignment practices also. See, so these are the programs. If I click on any of the program, see here we can see the program description is there, and the program is here, and output is here. Like this, you have so many programs are there. See how to read all elements in the array list, how to copy or clone the array list, how to add all elements in the list to array list. Like this, so many programs are there in the array list. Like this, a vector class, linker list, hash table, hash set, linker hash set, tree set, hash map, tree map, linker hash map. Like this, have so many examples are there in every section. See, if you practice all these programs, you'll be technically sounds good. I am not saying, friends, because Selenium website is saying. See here, if you want to learn Selenium, see the official website for Selenium is selenium.dev is the official website for Selenium. See here, Selenium automates browsers. That's it. My Selenium automation tool will automate the browsers. The applications open through the browser. A browser can be anything, Chrome or IE or Firefox or whatever. So the any application open through browser, that kind of applications only my Selenium will automate. Other than that, nothing will automate. Windows desktop applications, my Selenium will not automate. Only the web applications, the applications open through any of the browser, my Selenium can automate. What you do with that power is entirely up to you. What is that power? It's not a secret of boost, energy, Maltova. It's a secret of how much technically it sounds good only. It's a matter here. Getting around. What you do with that power is entirely up to you. The power is nothing but technically you must be sounds good while working on any one of these language banding, whatever I shown here. Understanding? Following it? Hello? Friends,
Hello? Hello? Morhi customer line. Hello?
Hello, sir. Can you hear us?
Hello?
Hello. Hello.
Hello?
hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
Hi. Hello.
Yes, we can hear.
Yes. Hear me, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So everyone is understanding, right? What I'm saying that? Okay.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
So how much technically your sounds good is the matter. Then only you can automate the browsers with using the Selenium automation tool. That's why we will be firstly covering about that core Java Ops concepts. After that, we'll come to the Selenium. So how many of you rate in core Java out of 5? I want everyone answer. Come on. How much can you rate out of 5 for core Java?
So as for me, I'm just getting started, so I would say
Okay.
0. or 1.
0.
Yeah.
Okay. No issues. No issues.
Same, sir, 0. I don't know about Java.
Okay.
We are just starting.
Okay. Good response. And what about others? Why I'm asking the question, friends? This is an
Hello.
interactive session. Yes, madam. Go
Hello.
ahead.
Sir,
Yes,
I
go
am
ahead.
I don't know Java, sir.
You don't know
Because I am,
Java.
so I am a non-IT person, sir.
Yes.
I'm non-technical background also, sir.
Uh-huh. Yes, yes. So, yes, why I'm asking this
I
question is, yes, go ahead, madam.
yeah. I know only theoretical, but coding, I know little, not more.
Okay, you know little, not more. Okay, fine. So, why I'm asking all these questions means, sir, so because whether you know or not know doesn't matters because everything will be given from the scratch here. For just for understanding how many of you aware of these concepts. Whether you are fresher or non-IT or experienced person doesn't matters. Everything from the scratch only given that. Nothing to worry at. Okay now? So like when you join for the graduations or any courses from the scratch you'll be joining, right? For academic schoolings or colleges, the similar way everything will give from the scratch. This is an interactive session. Okay, if you have any doubt, please ask me what is this, what is this. That right we have. Okay now?
Sir,
Doubts are always encouraged in asking the sessions. Okay now?
sir,
Fine.
Yes, sir.
Now after completion of the core Java, then we'll move to the Selenium automation tool. Yeah. In Selenium, the official website for Selenium is selenium.dev. With the Selenium automation tool, we'll be automating the web applications. The applications open through browsers, I call web applications. That kind of applications only my Selenium automation tool will automates. Friends, the Selenium tool is not a paid software, it's a free and it is an open source. Selenium automation tool is a free and it is an open source. Can anyone tell me the difference between the free and open source? Can anyone tell me the difference between the free and open source? As I'm saying, Selenium is a free and open source. What is that?
Open source can be
Like
used for
all can,
everybody. Uh,
Sorry?
All can access. All can access
For what?
for practice.
Oh, I'm asking the difference between the free and open source. What is the
open
difference
source can
between the, yeah,
be accessed from any web browser.
okay, that is a free, yeah? Okay. And open source
Open
means? Open source means? Come on.
is it free to download or something?
Sorry?
To download also, like
Yes,
we don't need to
correct.
pay for, yeah.
That no need to
Sir,
pay means it's
for
a free. It comes as a free.
Yeah, correct.
for
Okay.
free, I think it is available for all to download, and open source Selenium. It means it can integrate it to multiple languages like Java, Python.
Okay. So, okay, fine. That's correct. See, free means nothing to pay any license to work with Selenium. That's it, free. And open source means the code is available for end customers also. Like you and me, once you download, we can download and we can modify the code also. It's open source. Anyone can download it and they can change according to their in their system. Understanding? If you want to enhance something to the Selenium dumper, yes, you download that Selenium dump and you can modify, you can enhance whatever you want as you like. That's the open source. Yes or no? Source code is available. Anyone can download, anyone can modify, being in anywhere. That's a open source. Free means nothing to purchase any license to work with the Selenium. Got it now? The difference between free and open source?
Yes.
Fine. So Selenium is a free and it's an open source tool, automation tool, which automates the web applications only. Yeah, in Selenium, to work with Selenium, we have so many components are there. Some few components are there. Selenium ID, Selenium WebDriver, Selenium Grid, and also Selenium RC also will be there earlier, but now it got deprecated. Totally 4 components will be there. The 4th component is Selenium RC that got deprecated. Only available components in Selenium are Selenium ID, WebDriver, and Grid. These 3 components. So if you want to work with a Selenium ID, not require any programming knowledge. To work with the Selenium ID, not require any programming language, whatever I said earlier. Just it's a record and playback tool. Just if we have one test case, the test case consists 20 steps. You just come to the Selenium ID, start the recording, and you do the operations manually, whatever the test case you have with us. Okay, na? 20 steps are there. Yes, execute the 20 steps flow in the test case. After done the execution, then you stop the recording and you play back. Whatever during recording the statements you made, everything will get recorded back and in a HTML format. That can be playback. Record and playback. Record and playback. Once you record, playback for many times. Not require any programming knowledge using IDE. So here, in using IDE, we have some disadvantages. So in one browser we are recording, that will execute in one or more than one process, but some cases will not execute. That's one disadvantage using IDE. And one more disadvantage is not every element can be recorded perfectly in using IDE. Some elements may not record using IDE. These are all the disadvantages. Majorly, this IDE will be used not in real time, it will be used in the exploratory testing. For any pilot projects, we will be using the IDE. So because client is asking how do you do the automation, then as to show the instant results in front of the client, we just prefer Selenium IDE for pilot projects in showing the instant results to the client how they are going to be develop the scripts. Okay, so if you want to create quick bug reproduction scripts, if you want to create means then you go with Selenium ID creates scripts to aid in automation, aided exploratory testing. For exploratory testings and for pilot project development purpose, we use the IDE. Real time we never use this IDE. Okay, as we notice some problems, so recorded in one browser may or may not work in some other browsers, and some of the elements cannot be recorded using the IDE. Consider all these metrics and overcome this. And next component got released, which is the Selenium WebDriver. Okay, now if you want to create robust browser-based regression automation suites and tester, then we use a WebDriver. Friends, here in IDE, recording in one browser may or may not work in some other browsers. That problems is getting overcome in this WebDriver. That's what it is able to create a robust browser-based regression automation suites and tester the support of the WebDriver. Using WebDriver, one time we write the scripts. We instruct the script such a way that instructed script is going to be executed in all the browsers. See, that's why robust browser-based regression automation suites and test we are developing using with the Selenium WebDriver. So once you develop browser-based regression automation suites and tester, that needs to be scheduled executions parallelly in many operating systems and in many browsers. Yes or no? Once you create a robust browser-based regression automation suites and test means that has to be executed parallelly in many operating systems and many browsers. Who will does means Selenium Grid will does. Yes, if you want to execute them parallelly, yes, with the support of Grid only, it's possible. See here, if you want to scale by distributing and running tests on several missions and managing multiple environments from a central point, making it easy to run the test against a vast combination of browsers, operating system, then we want to use a Selenium Grid. Okay, na? We want to run the test against a vast combination of browsers and operating system, then we are supposed to use the Selenium Grid. So here WebDriver, which create robust browser-based regression automation suites and tester, And here using grid, we can run against vast combination of browsers OS. Then we want to use the Selenium grid. If anybody asks you what is the appropriate combination working with Selenium means, you could say Selenium WebDriver with the grid is the combination working with the Selenium. Understood? WebDriver with the grid. Getting? So in Selenium,
Sir,
what are the concepts? Yes.
Hello, sir. What
Yes,
is the
madam.
difference between WebDriver and web browser?
WebDriver?
And web browser.
WebDriver, web browser. Huh?
Yes, sir.
That's what the question asking. Yeah, WebDriver and web browser. Web browser means what?
Yes.
This is a web browser.
Yes, sir.
See, I'm opening Chrome. This is a web browser. Any web applications open through client browser. That's called web browser. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
These are the clients where we can open your applications. Applications can be open in any of the client browser. I can open a client Chrome browser. I can open a client Firefox browser. These are the client browsers. Okay, na web browsers we can call it. Okay, na drivers means what? Driver means what? These are classes. In Selenium terminology, we call it as a drivers, web driver. Okay, na? We have web driver classes are there. To connect to the web browsers, in the Chrome or Firefox, we have some web driver classes are there. For Chrome driver class is there. For Firefox driver class is there. For Safari driver class is there. Microsoft Edge driver class is there. That's why web drivers we call it. Okay, na? For every web browser, we have some web driver classes are there. Understanding?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Now, so what are the concepts to be covered in Selenium course means? Let me give a glance. Here, firstly we learn about the Java concepts. Then we'll talk about how to launch browsers, web browsers. Okay, using the respective driver classes. For every browser, we have respective driver class. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Sorry. No, I wanted to ask a question about the grid, Selenium grid. Okay, the grid, how is it different from running through Kubernetes and Docker and then grid?
See, the Dockers, these Kubernetes are the DevOps components. Okay? Those are DevOps components. The grid is a Selenium component. Got it, sir? The DevOps Kubernetes is the DevOps components where to execute them parallelly. This grid is the Selenium component. As I've shown you here, this is Selenium component or not?
Correct.
Okay, na? Got it, sir? Difference.
Okay.
Those also meant for to execute parallelly. That's a DevOps components. Okay, na?
Okay, sir. Sir, and one more thing is, can you share me that Java programming list, right, which you are mentioning in the chat box, that link?
Yeah, sure, definitely I'll share that, sir. I'll share that, okay?
Okay.
Fine. So here, first we'll talk about how do we launch various browsers using the Selenium WebDriver. We'll see here, and how dynamically we will convert the launching browser programs also will make dynamic, because every test case without launching browser we cannot interact the elements, web elements. So how dynamically we can convert these launching browsers programs, we'll see here. And after that, we'll talk about options class and we'll talk about profiles. Friends, here, when you want to execute any test case in manually means for every step, your intervention will be there. Yes or no? When you execute the test case manually, okay, na? In every test case, your intervention will be there. Yes or no?
Yes,
sir.
Yes, but we are going through automation. We are going through automation. Suppose here when we are testing any test case manually, some source stoppers comes, some web notifications has come and stop your executions. Some certificate errors comes and stops your executions. Some proxy settings will come and block your executions. Understanding? Some information bars. Like this, something comes and makes you interrupt. Manually means your intervention will be there. You can handle those and you can process the execution. But whereas in automation, such kind of activities comes means who is responsible to handle those? Ultimately, automation engineer only. Yes or no?
Yes,
Yes
sir.
or no? So manually those activities are occurring means our intervention will be there, we will handle those. But through automation it is coming there like that means when executing script means automation engineer responsible. Yes, for that case what we will do, we will take the browser into our control first of all. Yes or no? See, generally once our
Sir,
child is suppose our child is doing bad things, what we'll do? First we take the child into our control, then we will guide them, don't do like this, don't do like this. Yes or no? Similar way, if anything happening in a browser, so first of all, you need to take the browser into our control. We have to take the browser into our charge. How do we take? By creating the browser profiles. For every browser, we will be creating the user-defined browser profiles. Chrome user profile, Firefox user profile, like this we will be creating. Then browser will come into our control. Then when the browser into our control, then we can do the necessary settings on the browsers. Proxy settings, certificate errors, notifications, information bars, etc. So anything we can do that. So while we're working about the browser profiles, how to be create on various browsers, and on the browsers using the options class, we will do the necessary settings, disabling the information bars, maximizing the window, disabling notification bars, page load strategies, managing certificate errors, setting the proxy settings in the browsers. All these things settings we can do by using the options class after creating the profiles for various browsers. Getting or not? Okay. Next, we'll talk about synchronizations. Friends, you know, our scripts are very fast in executions, where application elements takes more time to load it. Yes or no? Elements in application takes more time to load, but whereas scripts are very fast in execution, in that case, there is a chance of some synchronization issues occurs between the script and the application. Agree or not? So to synchronize between these two, we use some synchronization methods, implicit wait, explicit wait, and thread dot sleep. All those things we'll see here. And next come to the locators. Friends, here, if I want to identify any person, what is the property I use? If I want to identify any person, what is the property we use? Hello?
To identify a person,
Yes. What is the
obviously by
property we
his
use?
name.
By his name only. Correct. So, of course, the human person has not only name, we have so many properties are there. Starting from baby coming from mother womb, the first property we say, baby is very colorish, height, complexity, like this we talk. After that 9 days, we keep a namakarana, like first name, last name, nickname, pet name. And starting from childhood, we'll have a Aadhaar card number. We'll apply for Aadhaar card. Okay, na? And once the baby grown up, so then 18 years comes means we have a voter card. 18 years comes means we have a driving license. Yes or no? And he is staying in US means we'll have a SSL number. And he is 21 years old means he is eligible for job. He can apply for job. So they're having employee is one more identity. Once he is an employee means he'll have a PAN card number for tax filings. PAN is one identity. Yes or no? All these are identity properties for the person. Yes or no? So friends, suppose you are purchasing any electronic goods. They are asking for identity property. What you give? You have so many properties. What do you give there?
Other.
Aadhaar card is the identity. Situation based we are giving that property. You are contesting in elections. What is the identity there?
Voter ID.
Voter ID. You are working as the employee in a company. So to calculate your salaries, what is the identity there?
Our working band and our company ID card.
ID number, right? Employee ID is the source to calculate the salaries for the employees. Okay. If we want to interact you, what is the property we use? If we want to interact any person, what is the property we use?
Name.
Name. So based on situation, we are using that identity property. Yes or no? Of course, we have so many properties. Okay. Every person has so many properties defined, but based on situation, based on need, we will use that identity property to interact the person or a object. Okay, na? Friends, tell me, if I see any person, can I get all these properties? What I said, Aadhaar card number, voter card number. By seeing the person, can I get all these properties? Huh? Employee ID,
No.
PAN number, driving license. Can I get all these things while seeing the person?
No.
No. So what we have to do? We have to spy the person. Yes or no? We have to spy the person asking, hey boy, what is your name? What is your surname? What is your age? Okay. So what's your gender? Like this. Okay, we ask the Aadhaar card, voter card number, SL, everything we ask. Yes or no? We spy them in getting the details. Okay, now then we'll get all the details. Based on that, we'll be interacting the person with respect to property. A similar way, once you're automating your web application, the applications contain so many web elements like text boxes, radio buttons, check boxes, drop downs, links, buttons, etc. etc. Yes or no? How can we automate these elements? Means like how the human being have some set of properties for each and every element in a browser will have some properties defined by the developers. Understood? Like how we have set of properties for us. Similar way, for every web element in application, we'll have some set of properties defined by the developers. Getting what I'm saying there?
Yes, sir.
So with that identical properties, see like how we use some identical properties for application elements also. So many properties are there defined. Some identical properties based, we are going to be interact the web elements to perform an action on it. Okay now. So we have 8 locators are there: ID, name, class name, XPath, CSS, link text, partial link text, tag names. Like this, we have 8 locators are there. So basic understanding of locators 3 hours we'll be discussing. Later we'll be talking about XPath and CSS selectors. So totally 6 hours we are occupied with locators only. Okay, now. So in XPath, how to write your customize XPaths, how to write your user define CS selector dynamically, all these things we'll see here. And Marvin project. So every project we use any build tools. We have various build tools are available, and Marvin, Gradle, like this we have various build tools are available. So Ant is deprecated nowadays. Marvin and Gradle, these are the build tools are available. So majority of the organizations are using build tool as a Marvin. Using Marvin build tool only, we build our projects. Any projects you are building means in Marvin build tool only, we used to build our projects. Okay, na? So I'll show you in the TestNG. TestNG is a Java defined framework. TestNG is a Java defined framework. Friends, Selenium itself don't have any built-in frameworks. Selenium doesn't have any built-in frameworks. So if you want to build your Selenium automation scripts means we use some frameworks, which I'm using the TestNG framework, which is designed by the Java. This is a Java defined framework. Okay, na? So I can show you, I can prove you 1 second. Once I open this selenium.dev official website to show you the Selenium don't have any frameworks means just click on downloads link here. Then after we click on the other languages exist some link is there, you click on it. There we can see there is an ecosystem full of open source projects around Selenium and WebDriver. And some of them are featured on this page. Here are number of the drivers. Drivers means browser drivers. Means like drivers means what means see friends, here in a system without audio drivers, can I play the audio? Without video drivers, can I play the video?
No.
No, right? The same way, Selenium automates various browsers. I am saying that for every browser, we must have a drivers. Chrome browser means Chrome driver exe file should be there. Firefox browser means Firefox driver exe should be there. So that called drivers. So here are number of drivers. For every browser, we have a drivers here, browser drivers, Firefox drivers, Edge drivers. Here we can download all the browser drivers. These drivers, bindings means language bindings. I said Java, C# Ruby language bindings. These also. So here are the number of drivers, language bindings, plugins, and some frameworks created and maintained by the third parties. So these are not done by the Selenium. Understood? Purely these are developed by the third party teams. Getting what I'm saying that? So these are the browser drivers. These are the language bindings. And these are the frameworks which are designed by the third party team. Okay. So like this, TestNG is a Java defined framework. This is not a Selenium framework. Okay. Using the TestNG framework, we will be building the programs while taking the support of the annotations, before annotations, after annotations, test annotations, okay, data providers, listeners. Like you have so many are there. How to set the test case priorities, how to set the test dependencies, how to group the test cases. Okay, how to run the test case in a batch mode. How can we run your test cases parallelly, irrespective of the classes, irrespective of the methods, irrespective of the tests, irrespective of suits? How can we make run parallelly? How to parameterize the scripts? Okay, how to report pass or fail skip using the TestNG listeners. How to rerun the failed test cases. If test case is failed, the reason of the failure can be any reason, but I want to make it rerun for my sake, it may be pass. How can we rerun the failed test cases using the TestNG retry listeners? All these things, how do we report it pass, fail, skip while using TestNG listeners? Okay, na? How can we work with the assertion classes in TestNG? Soft assertions, hard assertions, all these concepts will be covered in a TestNG for 10 hours. One mini pilot project also we'll see in this TestNG. Unlike page object model, here itself name says we are working irrespective of the pages. We are working irrespective of the pages. You know, in our web application, we will be having number of pages. Example to say, login is one page. Customer registration is one page. Add to cart is one page. Okay. Contact us is one page. About us is one page. Women's wear is one page. Yes or no? Agree or not? To get the
Yes.
group of pages we call as a web application. So how efficiently you'll be managing the pages is nothing but page object model approach. Each page as pure Java class we organized. Instead of every page elements in one Java class, divide and rule policy is always best approach. Okay, now. So how many pages are there in the application? That many Java classes we maintain. Each page elements and operations we organize in separate Java classes. 10 pages are there, 10 Java classes. Okay, we'll see on the page object model. And next come to the automating links. Majority of the elements are the links only. How can we automate the links? Static links, dynamic links, group of links of the headers, a group of links in entire page, broken links, hidden links. All these things, types of links we'll be discussing one fine day about the automating the links. Coming to the automating drop downs. Friends, just I'm giving all the highlights. What are the concepts we are covering? Nothing is subject is started. I'm giving highlights of that concepts what I'm going to be deliver for you batch. Okay, don't feel like I'm going fast because this is the introduction. It is my responsibility to say that the convey the message. What are the topics to be covered? Some people may aware of this concept, some people may not aware. Just my responsibility to deliver this deliverables to you all. Okay, so how many can understand, may not. Anyhow, you'll be getting recordings. We can go through that, all those things. Okay, fine. Automating drop downs. So drop downs means where we used to select the options. Either you can select a single option or we can select a multiple options. The various mechanisms are there selecting the options in the drop down. We'll see all such things. And pop-ups. Various types of pop-ups will occur during execution, like Windows pop-ups, security pop-ups, HTML pop-ups, JavaScript pop-ups. Various types of pop-ups comes. How can we handle that situations? We'll see in this concept. And coming to the actions class. Some of the elements cannot be interacted by the WebDriver directly. In that case, we will take a support of the actions class. Like such kind of elements, mouse hovering. Some of the elements, once I mouse over on that particular element only, it's getting populated. That kind of elements we call as the mouse hovering elements. Such kind of elements directly with WebDriver cannot be interacted. Then we'll take support of the actions class. Like right clicking on element, double clicking on element, chain actions, dragging and dropping elements, automating slide bars, like this kind of elements, advanced elements cannot directly interact with the WebDriver. Then we'll take a support of the actions class. Okay, now next coming to the JavaScript executors. With WebDriver, whatever we do, interacting the elements, getting the titles, okay, closing the browsers, handling the alerts, and clicking on checkboxes, whatever we do with JavaScript executor also, we can do the same with WebDriver what we do. And with WebDriver, what we cannot do, something we can do with the JavaScript executor also, like scrolling that browsers, like this we can do with JavaScript executors. All these things we'll see here. And coming to the automating Windows components. As I said, Selenium is purely automates the web elements only, not the window elements. When we are automating web elements, suddenly any window elements comes, my Selenium will do hands up because it cannot automate the Windows elements. How can we handle those? Means nothing to bother. So to automate window elements also, so Selenium will not support, but third party open source Windows automation tools are there. Hello, friends, can you hear
Yes,
me?
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
In the we have some open source Windows automation tools are there, like Auto IT, Sukuli, Robotics. Like any one of the three open source Windows automation tools support, we can automate the Windows elements during the your script executions. What are coming? Windows components when you're running your web application scripts, that window elements also can be interacted, can be automated with using some open source Windows automation tools. We can convert them into batch file that can be associated into a Selenium WebDriver script to handle that. Okay, na? So how can we work with automating all those things? We'll discuss here. Coming to the automating web tables. So you know, web tables contain some rows and columns. In that the cells only we can have the web elements. The web elements can be anything: text box or link or button or radio button, checkbox, link. Anything can be present in the table cell. So my target is to interact that cell element. So I must traverse to the web table rows and cells and interact the web element. I can perform the action on it. So where in the web tables we have a static web tables will be there. Some of the web tables will be the dynamic web tables will be there. Some of the web tables will be the web table page relations will be there, like this. And also we will be selecting the dates also, date pickers. There's also table only. So all these things we'll talk in the web table concepts. Okay. And coming to the data sources. Friends, once you're automating means for your script, we require some test data. Agree? So all test data will be organized in various data sources like XML files, properties files, Microsoft Excels. All these are the various data sources where we organize the test data in these various sources and we attach to the script in getting the data, reading and writing. All those things will be performed. This we'll discuss. And next coming to the grid. You know, grid
What is
means
the,
to execute the
yes, sir?
scripts. Yeah. Yes.
What is log4j?
To generate the logs. See here, even our operating system also will have generate some logs. Yes or no?
Yes.
So like once you're developing your automation scripts, so what each step is happening, you must know some information. You must have some message. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Like to say, see, suppose you have put one business, sir. You have put some business, sir. You will be not coming to the shop regularly. So you must have some source, right, to get the inputs, what happening.
Yes.
So what you'll do, you'll put one representative, or you'll put some spy cam to get the details. Spying, you are spying all this information. Logs, you want the logs. This minute what happened, this minute what happened, you want every log. Yes or no? You put
Yes.
some CC camera in place of you. Like similar way, when you're building your applications, so what each step is happening, you should know the details, right? But to generate the logs, we use a log4j jar file. The support of log4j, we will generate the logs for every test case step. What this step happened, what this step happening, what this step happening. If you don't know this information, how do you track? See, if you have CC camera, if any theft happens, the police comes and catch easy, right? Similar way, if we have a logs for every steps executed, it will be help for us. What steps was done the execution? At what situation it got failed? Will come some information. Yes or no? Will come with some information. Yes or no?
Correct.
Without
Correct.
information, nothing can get solved. Yes or no? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Logs. Okay. Fine.
Sir, one more
So
question.
coming to the Tell me, sir.
You said it's a TestNG framework. Can you give me any
Ah.
other example, like similar to TestNG framework, just to know?
TestNG, JNet, these two are the Java defined frameworks. TestNG
Okay.
and JNet, these two are the Java defined framework. JNet, TestNG got inspired by the JNet. Earlier JNet, later TestNG framework has come. These two are the Java defined frameworks. So in any project, even in your project also, whatever project you work, TestNG is the common thing. In every project, TestNG will be used to build your projects. Apart from that, every company having their own frameworks also. Getting set. So here Selenium is providing some predefined frameworks. Selenium, see, not this frameworks. These are third party, right? These are third parties. Getting, as I said here are
Just
number
code
of
on.
drivers, bindings,
Yes,
plugins, frameworks created and maintained by third parties, not by the Selenium. Got it, sir?
okay, if you can go down Selenium framework, right? Framework, so that, okay, these are all framework, right? Which supports the name, Beltran,
Selenium, not
etc.
Selenium frameworks, third party defined frameworks.
Okay, third party defined, yeah.
Even if you want to use them also, TestNG is the mandate.
Okay.
TestNG is mandate.
Good.
With using TestNG, we will include all these frameworks. Okay, now.
So that is why I was confused. So we are calling this is also test framework.
Mm-hmm.
TestNG is also framework.
Java
So,
defined framework that was.
okay.
So here also there. So different language. See here, this is one framework designed in the Ruby language. He is the author.
Okay.
Got it,
Okay.
sir?
Okay.
So you see, for every framework, have specified in some language only.
Okay.
See, this is one framework, Selenium based, designed from the Python. This is one framework designed in
Yeah,
C# language.
because the TestNG also uses Python and Selenium driver. So then, are we going to call it as a TestNG framework only for that also?
No. See, so come again, one second, come again. What's the question?
No. The same thing, like we use Java, Selenium, and then TestNG, right? In the similar way, we can use Python, Selenium, and TestNG also.
See, for Python, that framework will be different, sir. Okay, na? See, for every language, you have different frameworks will be there. I'm talking about Java. This is the TestNG, this TestNG, JET, these two are the Java defined framework. We are working with the Selenium with Java. For that, we are using TestNG framework.
Okay.
Getting?
Okay.
Got it, sir?
Okay, sir.
Fine. Next. So coming to the grid. So you know that if you when will we come to the grid means once you build your Selenium WebDriver scripts using Selenium WebDriver, that scripts you want to scale and distribute in executing parallelly in many systems and many browsers, then we take a support of the grid only. If you want to work with the grid means you must create a one setup hub and nodes. Hub is a kind of server, node is a kind of clients. Like how in networking we call as a server and clients. Similar way, hub and nodes will talk as terminology in a grid. Hub is a server, node is a clients. All are systems only. Just a terminology we keep like as a hub and nodes, all are systems only. Okay, na? So once we do these configurations, here we use two classes to execute parallelly. One is the remote WebDriver, another is the desired capabilities. Desired capabilities we set here which platform, OS and which browser, that will be set through desired capabilities. And remote WebDriver, okay, it is connecting remotely to execute. Remotely parallelly you want to execute, right? Remotely we have to execute parallelly many systems means here we give the remote WebDriver IP address we provide here, and we pass a desired capabilities arguments to this. Okay, these two classes will use okay na desired capabilities we set what OS, what browser to execute, and remote WebDriver it connects to the hub remotely where the hub is set up. It is connecting to the hub with these desired capabilities, and it will take care. The hub will take care to which node we have to execute parallelly based on the desired capabilities we pass. It will decide which node is available with what desired capabilities you provided. It will execute parallelly in the system. Okay, na? All these things we'll discuss. Okay, and
Hello.
yes,
Sir, I want
yes.
to ask. I have only 6 classes of manual testing. Can I do it parallelly or joint after completion of manual testing?
You can go with the parallel also, madam. There is no dependency starting with the manual, then only we come to automation. There is no such kind of prerequisite. Okay, na? So we can go parallel also.
Okay. We can go now. Okay. Actually,
Yeah.
7 to 8 we have a class of Srinivas sir.
Okay. So
Manual testing.
the class will be 6 to 7 Java. Okay, na?
Okay.
So because this is a demo, we are continuing just 5-10 minutes is going to be complete this. So generally the session will be 6 to 7. So is Java, this the manual class is going on?
7 to 8.
When it was started, madam?
7.
No, at
7
what
p.m.
date it was started? Date. When it was started?
What date?
Yes,
Date,
August, sir. 30th August, sir.
Sorry?
30th August. 30 August.
30th August. Okay, 30 August. Okay, great. Fine. Fine. No issues. So you can go parallel, madam. Not issue. Okay. Fine.
Okay, sir.
Now, let's hear this code Java. Oops, concepts completed. All practice done. And Selenium also. We'll talk all these concepts. And I'll give some assignments also. I'll give some assignments in this also. Okay, now I have some list of practices which I designed. So number of exercises I can give you, friends. These are all the exercises I'm having. Okay, now Facebook, Google, all those things. American Golf, so Magic Bricks. Okay, Click Info, like these different websites. I will go and I will demonstrate the examples. And also I'll show you how to automate the barcodes, how to automate the QR codes, how to what is that? Compare the images, how to compare the images. Okay, na? All these things will be automated, friends. And also we can also automate the one-time passwords also. All these things we can automate. Outside people are not saying this we can automate. They are saying simply these are out of scope. We have some limitations like this. The topmost institutes people are saying the same stories. And even recently, one of the topmost, they are charging 30,000 rupee. One of the institute, I don't want to leave that name. They're not teaching all these things. They're saying that this is out of scope. There are no some such limitations are there. They cannot automate. They're saying that. So friends, we have some third-party jar dependencies are there. If that supports, we can automate everything nowadays. There is nothing is there limitation to automate so many. See, you also can become as a sponsor for the Selenium. Yes, you also can contribute. So as I said, Selenium is an open source, right? Open source means what? You can download it in your system, local system. You can implement some new features and convert them into jar file, and you can and you can configure a project and you can make use that. Okay, now. So if you're technically sounds good, use Java, build any libraries, you can convert into Java and configure into your project, and we can make use them. So like this, so many contributors has built this usages like what I said, the QR codes automation and the barcode automations. Some third-party teams has initiated and they written the programs and convert into jar file. That while using the jar files only, we can automate all such things. Okay, now all these things will automate, friends. Okay, and coming to here, so we will work about DevOps also. In DevOps, we'll use Marvin, GitHub server, Jenkins will talk here, and coming to that, frameworks, TestNG framework, page object model, so these things we are going to be covering, friends. And the benefits you get of this training, you'll be getting the soft copy material for Java and Selenium, and you'll be getting the recorded videos for 1 year view access, and you'll be getting the source code daily. Whatever I build the programs like Java, Selenium project, all the things. Okay, source code. Okay, will be shared through GitHub server on daily basis. So daily, whatever programs I do in my system, daily I will be committing and pushing into the GitHub server. From your end, you can pull it for your reference. Okay, and doubts are always encouraged in asking the session, friends. Doubts are always encouraged in asking the sessions. If you have any doubts, and my sessions will supports you, helps you in getting into job without any proxy supports, any backdoors. Some people are going for proxies, some people are going for backdoors. Not necessary after completion of my course. Yourself, you can crack the entry. My classes will get more confidence to get into the job. Just I require intention from your end is to please concentrate on the classes, do the assignments, whatever I give. That's more sufficient, more enough. Okay. So the duration will be 2.5 months. Duration will be 2.5 months. And timing will be 6 to 7 p.m. is the sessions. Got it? And whatever we are doing here, TestNG, page object model, and BDD Cucumber, we are talking about frameworks. Not only frameworks, for every framework, we'll do some mini pilot project in every framework here. TestNG for 10 hours, page object model for 8 hours, BDD Cucumber for 8 hours. We'll talk on this, especially on frameworks. Okay, na? So I hope I was given business data driven Cucumber framework. We have TDD, BDD, some are there frameworks. Okay.
Okay.
So we'll talk each framework. This 10 hours, this is 8 hours, this is 8 hours. We'll talk on these frameworks. So any project we majorly work with BDD, page object model, TestNG. These three is the major role to build your projects. Okay, now. Friends, I am done for today. So we'll meet tomorrow, same timing with the same link. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you, friends. And if you have any friends, please pull them to join for this section. Okay. Thank you, friends.
Sir,
Have a nice day.
are you going to share those